I mean, there's some amazing Porsches at this show, absolutely awesome. I'm gonna keep showing you all of them one by one because I really want you to take this in as if you were here.
So my name is Tommy Kendall, and welcome to Luft 11. I was fortunate enough to have a long racing career, but some people say, do you never raced a Porsche? I said, well, I did once. Le Mans 2000, and that car is here today, that teal and white 993. But I've come to every Luft since the very first one at the coffee shop, like you guys, as a civilian, just being awed by what they had put together and watching it grow and so forth. So I'm supposed to be composed as the announcer and your host, but my excitement might get the better of me at some point. Now, as you can tell, every single detail is sweated by the team at Luft, but the one thing they don't control is the weather. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I like to think that Bob Ingram is up there and said to the man upstairs, we need perfect weather for this, because this was his vision, I think 7 years ago. He was the first person to think that this should happen here, shared it with Pat, and they worked on it for a good while. So the site itself is very historic. It's the American Tobacco Company campus, and what you might know is that this is where the Lucky Strike brand was manufactured. And they sponsored Porsches back in the day, and they also, the logo was created by the same person that created the iconic Coca-Cola logo, another partner of Porsches. And speaking of lucky, that was sort of the thing that popped into my head this morning, is how lucky we all are to be here. And, you know, at any given time, if you had a magic wand and someone says, take yourself to where you would like to be anywhere in the world right now, most of the times you're not exactly where you want to be. I think most of us here today literally would not be anywhere else in the world at this moment. So I'm grateful for that. I would like to give a nod now and introduce the man who started this whole, I won't say mess, this whole amazing, beautiful scene, Patrick Long. Welcome to this, and say hello to the folks and tell us a little bit about how you're feeling.
This entire time, the pandemic got a little bit in the way of our initial plans, but we're here. Everybody's on fire this weekend. We've had so much fun so far, and it's kind of wild to think we're just getting started.
Well, you were always pretty composed, but do you feel about like you did at the last hour of a 24-hour right now? Are you running on fumes?
No, I'm still okay. I'm probably hour 12, so you're still running on adrenaline. And then
Bobby Rahal, who I touched on last night, he can talk about this event from maybe more perspectives than anyone here. Namely, he was a son of a father that had Porsches and raced Porsches, but then went on to have his Hall of Fame career, three-time IndyCar champion, Indy 500 winner, raced in Formula One, Can-Am, and Porsches in sports car. One of the very first races I went, he was driving the Apple Computer 935 at Sears Point. I mean, what are your thoughts? You've seen a lot in your life.
I have, and this is something else, isn't it? It's just fabulous. And I've known Patrick for many, many years, and have watched from afar this event. This is my first time I've actually been to one, and it's everything and then some, I think, of what I expected. Just fabulous.
So this is a 1963 Porsche 356. It's a 1952 Porsche 356 3A. So this is a 1966 906, the Le Mans Carrera 6, 2.0 liter, and it won the World Sports Car Championship. So this is a 1998 Conrad 993. It's a GT2 Evo 3.6 liter that we're looking at here. So this is a 1995 Porsche 911 white and blue. So this is a 1990 911, a little bit older than the one next to it, but the same color combo. So this is a 1956 356 with all kinds of craziness going on in its absolute original condition. Registered in New York State. So this is a 97 911, originally purchased by the Hockey Hall of Famer Steve Yzerman. He owned it a few years and then he sold it. It went to Chicago and then later to California. It's a 97 Porsche 911. This is a 97 911. It was the final and most technologically advanced air-cooled model of the 993 year. It was sold by Brumos Porsche, and it's one of only 182 examples. So one of 182. It had a sticker price here. I don't see the price on here. I know, $156,769. So check this Porsche Targa out. I don't know a ton about it, but it looks pretty slick. This sticker is interesting. Biscuits and porn. Check this out. I think it's a 1958 356 Super 90. I'm a little weak on my Porsche knowledge, so correct me, but this thing is awesome. All right, so check this out. It's a 68 911 custom paint job. It started as a 68 Porsche 911 race car. It was owned its entire life by a man named Klaus Selbert, who owned an independent Porsche shop and raced 911s in period in the 60s and 70s. And then this guy picked it up, and his idea was to make a 911R clone, keeping the period correct look, but improving what is available to him today. All right, let's look at this one. This is a 68 912 Irish green. The car barely survived the Pacific Northwest before being rescued and hauled back to Kentucky, where its new owners got it running and fit. So Pacific Northwest car hauled off to Kentucky. It was spotted on Facebook Marketplace. They bought it, they did some work on it, and they did some restorations while it was in Kentucky. Beautiful. Great story too. It's like me or you browsing Facebook Marketplace, looking for something, and this spotted in the Pacific Northwest. All right, this is a 69 Porsche 912. It lived its life in California. The original owner passed away. The wife sold it. It found its way to the East Coast in New Jersey, where it's been living since 2019. Pretty cool story. It's a 69 912. Okay, we have a 68 912 in tangerine, aka blood orange. This is a numbers matching, completed production May 6, 68, purchased by a guy in San Mateo, California. The guy that now owns it, it's his first air-cooled Porsche. He was looking for a non-concourse, well-restored numbers matching 912, ideally in tangerine, and that's what he found. So check this out, I'm pretty sure it's a 91 Porsche Singer with the tobacco interior. So Singer makes some pretty wicked, yeah it is, you gotta get the badge right there. They make some pretty wicked cars and reimagine a lot of these Porsches. Honestly, this is the first time I've seen a Singer. So this is a 91 911 coupe, again reimagined by Singer. So here's another beauty up here at Luft 11. I love the color of this guy. This is another Singer Porsche. This is the back of that Singer. All right, this is a 1985 garnet red metallic Porsche 911. The guy that owns it doesn't know a lot about the car before he bought it 3 years ago. It was owned prior to me by Graham Everett, who was a machinist and mechanics for JPL Porsche and Racing, and still owns some of the best air-cooled Porsches.
Yeah, but he didn't know that we were here.
So check this out. It's an 80s Porsche 930. I don't know the exact year, but man, it has a pretty mean stance on it, that's for sure. Yeah, we just got to look at this back again. Such a little fatty corn dog. Check out this Porsche. It looks like it's a 964. See Porsches everywhere you can go. All right, I'm going to take a little break right now. This is massive. Everywhere I look, there's just Porsches and Porsches and Porsches.